What would you say was the most memorable selfie that you have taken?
All of them.
All of it. Liz, Harlan. Harlan says all of them. It's Rob and Lizz in the morning. Harlan in this week for Liz, his radio. There's a pilot that was, I think it was a bomber or something like that, but keeping an eye on that balloon that came through. How can you forget that, huh? Shot down over Myrtle Beach in the water. But the pilot took a selfie. With it behind him. So you see how big it is, and then the payload or all the equipment that was with it. The thing was huge. But now this is making its rounds because the Department of Defense just released it. So everybody's going, oh, look at that selfie.
We all have them, and they even make rooms devoted, like exhibits devoted to people going in and taking selfies.
What do you mean
different
rooms?
Themes. So they make themed events or themed rooms where you go for the sole purpose of taking selfies now.
Life has come to this?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
my word.
So whether you're taking a selfie just you or whether you're taking it with the Bucky statue when you pass the gas station, you know, whatever.
You know what? Sadly, I'm not into selfies, personally. I don't take a lot of selfies.
But yes.
No, I don't. I take pictures of, family and maybe my dog.
But when you're with your dog or a group of friends, do you not put yourself in the picture?
No, barely.
Up with this? No?
No.
Rob.
Sad. Okay. This comes to me, okay? This is a me thing. I don't like how I look, so I don't put myself in pictures.
Rob.
Seriously.
It's not about you. It's
no,
about the
that's why I don't take a selfie.
Making. The memories that you're making, it doesn't matter what you look like. When your kids look back or your family members or your friends look back, they're going to see you in that picture and love you for you.
But
so that's not in them.
That's not a reason a lot of people take selfies.
Oh, no, it's
the memory.
Look at it.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His radio.
Talking about those unique selfies that you have taken at one point in life. So we just got an open mic in from the My HISRadio app, which you can download for free, by the way. Google Play and the App Store. You'll notice at the bottom of the app, you'll see open mic. You can record anything on that.
Hey, my name is Aaron, and my most treasured selfie was when I went to Fiji to work on the set of Survivor, and my arrival in the airport there with some musicians playing behind me in the airport. That is one of my most treasured selfies. It's a wonderful memory.
Okay, cool selfie. And another coolness factor is, Aaron, you work for Survivor?
How awesome is that?
You work for Survivor? I mean, what do you do, Aaron? I have to know all the things now.
That's your selfie. That's the best selfie. Like, you worked with all those people that were on Survivor. Got selfies with any of them.
What he said was when he went to the Fiji airport and got the selfie of all the musicians that are there.
Yeah. Like the musicians were cooler than anything else.
Of anybody on Survivor?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I love it.
Aaron, we need to know.
All the things.
All the things. What do you do? Are you like the director? Are you the big boss? What do you do? I'm curious.
I don't know. And can we get a selfie with you, Aaron? Like, that's what I really want to know.
Yeah, she wants the cool factor selfie with you.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His radio.
We just received this really unique open mic. We shared it about, 5-10 minutes ago. Mm-hmm. And it really intrigued us because of where he said he worked. And we're asking about selfies, most unique selfie. And then we get this.
Hey, my name is Aaron, and my most treasured selfie was when I went to Fiji to work on the set of Survivor, and my arrival in the airport there with some musicians playing behind me in the airport.
Okay, so I'm going to stop it there. My name is Aaron. I work for Survivor. I was flying into Fiji to work on the set of Survivor, and then he says what the selfie is. And I'm like,
what?
Survivor? What do you do?
Yeah.
Right?
I want to know.
What do you do? So Aaron called. He's on the line right now. Okay, what do you do with Survivor, Aaron?
Design and build the moving implements on the challenges.
Get out. Oh, that is so cool. What was
if a bridge drops or a flag pops up or a door swings open or they have to activate something, then those things.
How do you keep the ideas flowing for that? Because those are just some pretty amazing challenges you put together for them.
I don't have to come up with the ideas. They got a whole crew that does that.
What was the most challenging challenge to build?
Faulty towers with 30-foot stack of puzzle pieces topples over and doesn't kill anybody.
So you've met all of these awesome people, and yet your favorite selfie is in an airport with the band behind you. Tell me more.
That was like my only selfie.
Was it a famous band or just the band in the Fiji airport?
No, it was just so cool that they just had people there, singing and playing music as you got off the plane. And I've landed in a lot of airports, and I've never landed in one where people are like serenading you as you get off the plane.
What part of the Carolinas and Georgia do you live in?
I live in North Georgia, over by Helen.
Oh, pretty area, too. You get to do the tubing and everything. Thank you for being a part of the His Radio family.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His radio.
John's daughter is like, I do want to help you, Daddy. I want to give you my kidney. And John's like, no, he desperately needs one. And he's on the waiting list. And so finally, it took such a long time, the doctors called and said, there's a kidney available. It's time to come and get your kidney. No longer needs to be on dialysis or anything like that. So he goes to the hospital. It's prep time. And then all of a sudden, in pops his daughter. And she's got one of those, I guess it's on a roller thing. The IV's hanging from it.
Yeah.
And the IV's in her, and she's got the hospital gown on. She goes, Daddy, are you ready for the surgery? And she's looking at her going, what do you mean? It's like, and why are you dressed like that? Why do you have an IV? She goes, because I did this in secret. You're getting my kidney. I'm donating it to you.
What an amazing daughter, right?
She's 25, so she's an adult daughter, and she's like, I can make this decision, Dad. I know you don't want this, but I'm doing this for you. And he starts to bawl like a baby.
Well, yeah, he
So
wants what's best for
grateful.
her, but she wants what's best for him, and
Yeah.
that's keeping him alive and well.
And that's so great.
She was able to do that, and they are all okay now.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His radio.
Thoughts about this? It's Rob and Liz in the morning. Hairline in for Liz this week. It's His Radio. About skipping breakfast or not skipping breakfast. Do you intermittent fast and skip the whole breakfast altogether, or do you need it? Now there's people who are skipping breakfast not because they're on some kind of diet or nutrition plan. It's because they can't afford it.
Right. Well, eggs are expensive now, and that's
Yeah.
what I used to eat. So growing up, I never ate breakfast because I'm lazy and wanted to sleep in. But then as an adult, I started eating eggs daily, and now I'm like,
Now, doctors are like chiming in, and they're like, no, you have to eat breakfast. And there's a couple of reasons why they say it. It fights off infection
Really?
and increases the risk of heart disease when you eat breakfast. I mean, not eat breakfast. If
wait.
you skip breakfast, it's detrimental in fighting off infection and could increase the risk of heart disease. That's what we're saying if you skip breakfast.
wow. So even if it's something less expensive, maybe a piece of fruit or maybe a bowl of cereal.
Just so it's something. Like Scott, he eats breakfast, but it's like a banana.
Yeah. And I'm not a big breakfast person either, but I try to eat at least something. So a banana is easy. It's cheap. I can grab it and take it with me out the door if I'm, heading in. So, yeah, that's what I do.
And bananas are filling. They're going to help. So especially like you take medicine in the morning or something like that. I think a lot of it has to do with that medicine won't absorb.
Banana and peanut butter.
Yeah.
It'll really fill you up.
And fluff.
And no, don't add the fluff to it.
Always. You
Now
always
just
add the
turned
fluff.
you just turned it into something that's not nutritious anymore.
Deliciousness. Why isn't it
It's
nutritious?
Fluff. I mean, even the name, fluff.
But
that's
with
like
peanut
a
butter.
dessert. That's like a treat.
Bananas, peanut butter, and fluff.
No, not the fluff.
They all
not
go
for
together.
breakfast. Not for
There's
breakfast.
a banana in it. It's kind of healthy.
Yeah.
Don't kinda it.
You
I
got
mean,
your
use-
fruit, your protein, your fluff.
Don't fluff it. Do the fluff as a snack down the road, a treat.
Why?
Not the breakfast.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His radio.
What in the world do you have for breakfast? It's Rob and Liz in the morning. Hairline in for Liz this week. We are His Radio. Jess is here. What about you?
I have a protein shake every morning.
What's the protein shake? What is it?
It's a chocolate protein shake.
Oh, see, that's delicious.
Do you add things to it like fluff?
Do what?
She's into this fluffernutter thing. She wants you to put fluff
Do you add
in your
things like,
protein shake.
peanut butter, fluff, or
Coffee.
fruit? Oh, you add coffee.
In the protein
Yeah.
shake.
I take my protein shake and I add it to my coffee in the morning.
Oh, that's unique. I've never done that.
It's a mocha milkshake.
How long with the protein shake now?
See, my son's 6, so about 7 years ago.
Just a fast, easy, convenient breakfast every morning.
I try to do it because I have to, put it in the blender and shake it up, and I feel like I'm waking up the house when I do that.
Oh, I'm not. Mm-mm.
You don't care.
No.
She just.
Yeah, I'm going to do what I'm going to do, you know? We got this text. Dave. Dave is my new friend. He said people put syrup and whipped cream on pancakes and waffles, so why not fluff on bananas?
For the fluffer
Thank
nutter
you.
stuff.
Thank you, Dave. What's wrong with eating some peanut butter and fluff with bananas for breakfast? That sounds delicious.
Okay, well, you can do that.
I can.
You enjoy
I'm
that.
packing it tomorrow for breakfast.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
You know, it's very dangerous riding a bike, right? Cars, watch for motorcycles everywhere you go. Well, they've made these pants that are airbags.
Yeah. CO2 cartridges are in these denim jeans, and it detects that if you fall, the things go,
Yeah.
and then they're like airbags on your pants.
I wonder how it knows if you've fallen.
I know.
Or
What
if you're like getting off the bike and all of a sudden they just go,
and you trip. Say you trip, you fall on the ground, your pants activate.
you
and
don't
then-
get hurt.
Right. Yeah, you don't
I
get
think
hurt.
this is like for motorcyclists and for my kids.
Anybody who's clumsy,
Yeah.
who
Get 'em up.
trips on whatever.
I'm just looking at the playground.
Yeah, I
like,
used to be that way. My feet would just stumble and I'd trip up. I would never fall all the way down, but boy, I looked real clumsy.
but not in these pants. They would just puff up and you'd be fine. You wouldn't even have a scrape.
No, not at all. You bounce off. I wonder what happens if. Never mind.
See, their marketing just doesn't need to be for motorcycles. It needs to expand. To the
Expand?
whole world. Every mama wants to put their baby into bubbles.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
So I've always been told I have a really long tongue. Have you ever just stuck your tongue out and seen like...
Oh, can you touch your nose?
I can totally touch
I
my nose.
cannot
I can
do
go
that.
like to the top of my nose. It's a whole
To
thing.
the top? Like
Yeah.
in between your eyes?
No, like to the top of my...
The
you
tip
know, I
of
got
your
a
nose.
big nose, so it's like at the top.
You
Tip.
got a big nose,
Yeah.
she says.
So I thought it was big until I saw this. So Nick has the world's longest tongue. It's super long. And he decided that he shouldn't just let it sit in his mouth like normal people do, you know, unless they're showing somebody that it's long. He has decided to take up painting with his tongue.
Ooh.
So he puts paint on his tongue and then look at
I've seen this
all
guy.
over the painting.
I think he puts like cellophane or something on his tongue. So he doesn't put it directly on his tongue, the paint.
That's good. Because I did have questions about that. Like, isn't this toxic? Like, what happens when you absorb it? Whatever.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, maybe it's edible paint. I don't know how people
Edible
paint.
paint.
So he paints this picture and then gets paid for these paintings painted with his tongue.
Okay. Do they look good?
No.
They don't look good?
I mean,
so in other
art
words,
is in the eyes of the beholder. Somebody
yes,
thinks it looks
the
good. Mm-hmm.
interpretation of the thing. So it's unique that he's painting it with his extra long tongue that he has, that he probably can touch in between his eyes. And
Probably.
then Harlan can't, but she can hit the top
Hit
of
the
her
nose.
what she self-proclaims is a big nose. Okay, so and if it doesn't look like it's pristine art, it's still art to somebody.
It is. And he's getting paid like over $1,000 for these paintings.
For a painting?
Yeah, so I'm thinking that I need a little side hustle. So I'm just going to
got paint-
all of that.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
I love it. This sweet turtle doesn't have any back legs. And so they named him Lieutenant Dan.
Lieutenant Dan as a box turtle. And so here's what they did. They got together with a Lego club of students between 9 and 14 years old, really smart students. And they're like a robotics club, and they use Legos and stuff. So they made a way for Lieutenant Dan to walk and built like wheels or something like that for his hind part of his turtle shell.
Yeah, a lot of times in these Lego clubs, they create Ferris wheels that move or are electric, and they build all of these Lego images that move and things like that. But these students really took it upon themselves to help this injured animal, and they built this whole construction that goes on the turtle to help him.
Yeah.
So much better.
And he got married and showed up at his friend Forrest's wedding and surprised him.
Okay.
Lieutenant Dan. Yeah.
He lives in his home.
He does. He lives in his shell. So Scott's son is a part of a Lego type of club like this. Is that right?
he's part of it's not a Lego club per se, but it's part of a STEM group at school, and they get together, as a class and build things like that. And I thought when I saw this story, how cool. I mean, he would be all into that because I think at the moment his middle name is Lego. I mean, everything Lego right now for him. So I think it's neat to see those students get together and do that for little turtle.
How old is your son?
He's 11.
And what kind of things does he make out of Legos now?
Oh, my goodness. He takes just a bucket of Legos and can turn them into just these stories, these creations, and he's got the boxes and the kits where they show you what to build, but it's fun to see him just take random pieces and make these things.
Oh, he does his own thing.
Yeah.
Just so creative.
They tend to build the box once, and then once it's apart, it's a new creation.
They all get mixed together,
Yes.
right? And so you
Yeah.
can't figure out what goes to what anymore.
Yeah. My son has the box that goes in it to make it move on its own. So it's like battery operated. So we
no
can create
way.
it to like a handle, and then
Oh, that's cool.
it makes it move on its own. And the
Yeah.
things they do with Legos now, it's not.
I can make a wall.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
That first generation iPhone that was sold last week for $63,000.
That's crazy.
And that's something else. I mean, it was in the box, the cellophane, all that stuff. Someone else found theirs, and it was like someone who worked for Apple. This is another one. This is a second one that they're talking about this week. And he bought one for a spare, never opened it up. And now he's thinking, maybe I can get over 60 grand for this thing.
And he did.
Yeah. Oh, he did? I didn't know he sold it yet.
Oh, I thought he did.
The one last week was
Yeah.
$63,000. This guy was like, I wonder how much.
Yeah, the rest
I'm
of us
gonna
are
get.
digging through the drawers like, how about an
Needing
opened
it.
used one?
Maybe start thinking about the first phone I ever had. That was mine. I had one because I came here from Florida from our sister station, and so I had a bag phone, but we all shared it. The big bag phone. So you were like on call. This was your weekend. You get the bag phone kind of thing.
Yeah.
But my first one I ever had was a StarTAC, which was a flip phone that makes you feel like you had a communicator from Star Trek.
Was it fancy?
For the time, it was fancy.
Like, was it as big as the one on Saved by the Bell?
I have no idea. I never watched Saved by the Bell. I was
What?
not into Saved by the Bell.
What? With
It fit
with
in
the
a-
Zac phone? The big old-
No, mine fit in the palm of my hand.
Oh,
And
that
then
was
it
fancy.
It flipped up.
That's fancy.
It was fancy. Okay, Harlan, how about yours?
Nextel.
No, the Nextel.
Beep, beep. And once I changed I had a whole friend group that we all had them and we all talked. And then I changed my friend group in high school and I couldn't use my phone anymore.
I think, Jake, did you have a flip phone?
I sure did. It was Samsung and it was black and you could play music when it was closed.
Ooh.
That's fancy, too.
Look at that.
He was like, this was the coolest phone ever.
Yeah. Ninja had one when you were in high school, right?
Yes, mine slid up vertically.
I know those. I remember those.
Was it the orange one?
Mine was blue.
Okay.
But I had to hit the number 3 button 3 times so I could get the letter C when I texted.
Yeah, when you
Yes.
texted, you had to hit the numbers all multiple times.
Yes.
Because
But it
each
was-
number has 3 letters attached to it.
Yeah. I was a whiz at those, but then they changed to the iPhone, and now I was like, how do you know where the buttons are? Because you couldn't feel them anymore.
Oh, that's
You had to go to
true.
touchscreen, and it was the weirdest transition ever.
Oh, I see people now can type on the touchscreen without looking.
Yeah. Can you?
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah. I'll prove it to you. And
I
I'll
don't-
text you something.
Yeah. Will it be readable?
It will be. But sometimes if I look at the phone and type, I can't rate anything illegible.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
I'm all about a good time, but Jeff went to an amusement park, the same amusement park, 3,000 times in a row.
In a row, every single day then. That would
Consecutive.
be consecutive
Monday
means every day.
through Sunday, every day.
Oh, my word.
Same amusement park, every single day. Now, he started out to have fun. Then it went to, I'm going to win a world record, which means what? And then, he just kept going. At what point do you just get bored of the same old rides or the same old, parades or people or mascots? I love an amusement park. I love going. They are my favorite. I wear special outfits to them. But in what,
That'd be 8 years in a row.
yeah. After 5 days, on vacation, I need
You're
to
done.
go back to normal.
Yeah.
3,000 times.
Okay, this guy has
One
a
park.
lot of time on his hands.
Yeah.
Must have a lot of money because going to an amusement park is not cheap.
Well, you get a season pass,
Yeah, so that's still not
but
cheap.
every day you must live close.
He must.
And
Right?
maybe some days he just stepped foot in the park
So,
and left. But
I did the math. That is every day for just a little over 8 years.
like
a
that's
little
getting
over
off
8
work
years.
and going straight there.
He
or
must really like this place.
there is no place in the world I like
That much.
3,000 times in a row. Not even my house. I can't
For-
even go home that many
for-
times in a row.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
Well, they named the snowplows in Madison, Wisconsin.
Finally, what did they go to? What did they go to?
This is so much fun. In case you're not familiar with it, there's a city, Wisconsin, it's Madison. Every year they have this contest for those who live there to name their snowplows. I think it's opened up to everybody. I don't know. But they come up with very creative names for the snowplows every year.
They do, like Snowy One Kenobi.
Isn't that funny?
I love it.
Saltimus Prime is one of them.
Oh, that's a good one.
Saltimus Prime, Snowy-Wan Kenobi, just like Carolyn just said. There's Seymour Pavement. That's the name of one of the snowplows. And Dolly Plowton. Dolly Plowton.
That one's great.
The whole thing, yeah.
There's so many, though. Kong Plow Chicken. Right?
She likes that
like
one.
the Chinese food, like Kong Pao,
Right.
But yeah. No, so Paul makes puns constantly. And so I live in this perpetual, like my car's name is Penny because it's an ascent, like a cent.
Oh, I get it. So he calls it Penny.
So he calls it Penny. And
Okay.
he thinks like that all the time, like in these punny fine kind of names. So
Well, very nice. He
Yeah.
could have named one of the snowplows.
he could have, but I don't think he knew it was going on.
Oh, I'm sorry. He
Did
doesn't
you?
know.
How long has this been going on?
Years. It's been, what, 3-4 years at least, Scott?
Yeah. Long time.
And you don't have to be a citizen to do it. You could just, so next year.
I'm a citizen. Aren't you a citizen?
Depends on who you ask.
We are all
Just
citizens. Welcome.
of the kingdom.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
She put it in her closet thinking, I wonder what will happen if I leave this here for a while. Forgot about it. Now it's 5 years later. Rob and Lizz in the morning. Harlan's in for Liz. We are his radio. It turned out being a McDonald's cheeseburger.
And the fact is that it looked just fine after 5 years.
5 years. The funny thing is, here's the funny thing is, she forgot that she put it in her closet. She put it in her closet for a reason. It was like a science experiment in her mind, right? Like, what's going to happen to this thing in a couple of months?
Right? And
5
then
years later, she's like, oh, yeah, that cheeseburger.
cleaning out the closet. So it clearly never smelled that bad that she thought,
No.
what is that? Oh, yeah. Like 5 years went by. She opens up the wrapper. There is no mold. The cheese looks melty.
It looks edible.
Burger looks completely like it did when it came out of the wrapper.
Very
the first
well
time.
preserved.
And it says no preservatives, no, additives, things like that
What says that?
on the website of McDonald's.
Well, maybe that's now. I don't know about 5 years ago.
I don't either, but she vowed never to eat any kind of fast food again.
After
She's
she
done.
saw that, she's like, no way.
I mean, there's certain things that gross you out enough, you never eat them again.
She's not. I'll still go to those places.
Oh,
I get salads and stuff like that when we're traveling. Every now and then I'll get their French fries.
I like
their-
you said
I like-
salad. Look, I get a chicken sandwich.